Hello, boyos.
Hello, boyos.
Welcome to Last Week in Games, where everything is video games. Last week, stuff happened in Russia, of course. We know about this. Also, there's some news about Star Wars Eclipse. Is it bad? Is it good news? I don't know. We'll talk about that soon, along with a bunch of other stuff. My name is Jake. That over there next to me, that sexy son of a gun over there, is
My middle
Nick
name, my guy.
Roger
What?
Sapon.
No, it's Nick, sexy son of a gun. Say
Oh, okay, yeah. Nick
Rogers for next week.
Nick Rogers, sexy son of a gun, Robinette.
Okay, sure. All right, you got it. That's it. That's my whole name.
Sapon. How you doing, Nick? What's up? How are things?
Good. Things are good. Today went by really freaking quick. Can't
I love
believe it's
that.
3:47 right now. I'm like, Jesus, man. I woke up at 4 o'clock. I've already been awake for just about 12 hours. Like, the day is flying by.
And I've been awake for maybe 3, so
Nice. So the day is just beginning for you.
yeah,
You
true.
know, this is why we can't hang out anymore.
I know.
We can't be friends because, our
Don't
lives are so different.
I've always lived this life. This has
I know.
always been who I am.
I know.
Always.
I'm the one that's changed.
That's right, you bitch. But change is
Yeah.
good. Change is good. I'm okay with
Change
you
is
doing that.
good.
It's okay.
I
I'm not mad
appreciate
at you.
it.
I'm not mad.
I get to spend the rest of my day, doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Which is not this, I gotta say.
Damn.
Zing!
Damn.
Got him.
Fucking roasted us.
Roasted. You're so dumb. God, you're so
Damn.
dumb. It's a callback to something that.
No, it's not. That's okay.
I'm doing all right. All in all, to sum up,
Just another brick in the wall, you know?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Living life and life living. You know what I mean? How are you?
I'm good, man. I saw the Harlem Globetrotters yesterday.
Who won?
Oh, dude, we'll get them next time. We almost got them.
Mm.
The Globetrotters won. I was really rooting for the Generals,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
Washington Generals. We'll get them next season.
Yeah.
It was a really weird experience. I've never been to a Harlem Globetrotters game. It's very strange.
I mean, what is the backstory? There's got to be some sort of backstory of this. Like, whose birthday was it? Whose, a bucket list thing was it? Like, who's dying?
They were just
sorta.
they were in town, and I had some people that wanted to go, and I took them. You know what I mean? I can't really be more descriptive than that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but
Okay.
for reasons. But
It was a work experience.
It was a
You
work
could say that.
function. Yeah, it was a work
Okay.
function. Yes.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool.
It was a good way to spend, a good 3 hours of your work day.
So
sure.
what you're saying is you got paid money to be entertained by
Correct.
ball spinning
Correct. It was
basketball
awesome.
players.
Yeah, I got paid to watch the Harlem Globetrotters.
That's pretty freaking cool, man.
It was pretty rad. It was really weird though. Like, so it was at the hockey arena in Phoenix. Which I don't know what it's called anymore. It used to be called Jobbing. I don't know what it's called.
Gila River Casino Arena. I don't know.
That sounds right. Sure. It was at that one, but like the entire top section was like closed off, and there were like 30 people there, and
30 people. That's it.
It really wasn't a lot. There was probably, I don't know, 200, 300 people there.
Jesus.
Yeah, pretty small. It felt like not even college. It felt like a high school basketball game. Like they even had their own like sound system, like little speakers. Like they couldn't even use the actual sound system there. I swear these guys are just like, hey, there's an arena in Phoenix that's available that day. They'll give you a discounted price for it if you guys want it. That must be how they get their gigs. And the legacy of the Globetrotters, probably. But
that's who's following the Globetrotters? Like, you think there's some like diehard fans out there that are like, I will go to every Globetrotters game there is in my city? No,
I don't think that was ever the case though. I think it was always just like little kids like going to see there was a ton of kids. That like
Oh,
so many kids and they were all pumped. They all bought their like Harlem Globetrotter basketball. And you could literally just walk onto the
onto
basketball thing.
the court.
Yeah, you could walk onto the court and get their autograph after.
That's
Uh
cool.
yeah, cuz there wasn't a lot of people there. So like everyone could just go down and get their autograph if they wanted. So yeah, it
That,
was neat.
that's
Globetrotters.
cool. What an experience.
Yeah. Anyway, video games. Let's talk about video games, shall we?
Yeah,
Nick,
let's do it.
I think everyone knows the answer. But what you been playing?
Oh man, you already know it. You already know it.
Monster Hunter.
No, I was gonna say something really crazy obscure, but I couldn't think of anything. No, I've
Dead
been
or
playing.
Alive,
You,
volleyball.
I've been playing. What everybody has been playing the past week, 2 weeks, whenever this game came out, and just totally getting engrossed in it. Elden Ring. I've been playing the Rings of Old, and I'm having a I'm having a blast. I'm
I love to
having
hear it,
a
dude.
freaking blast. This game, I don't like Souls games, generally speaking. I tried to get into Bloodborne. Everything was too gray. There weren't enough weapons. I felt like I was just going down a corridor and dying to the same enemies over and over again, which you kind of do in this game too, but it's like it's different because it's not the same corridor that you're going down. It's well, I'm getting my ass handed here, and I don't want to keep hitting my head against the wall, so I'm gonna go somewhere else and get my ass handed to me somewhere else, and maybe beat the boss, and then come back over here when I'm a little stronger. Um, I played Sekiro. I couldn't get past the first. There's like a giant, and he's blocking a door. Couldn't get past that. Um, I
What's your build look like? Like what are you running?
I'm all strength.
All
I am
strength.
all
Just
strength.
big sword, man.
I that was the first weapon I found was like this Game of Thrones looking throne sword with like it was like a sword made of swords. And it was like, okay, well, I'll go for that because it was the highest rated one with the most damage, and the highest level was like you needed strength 40 to wield it. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's what I'm going for, strength. So I'm slowly building in strength. I think I'm like level 35 or something like that.
God
Haven't
damn.
been haven't gotten to wield it yet because my strength's not 40. My strength's probably 32. So I have a big old hammer with a block like cement block on it. Um, Pretty freaking tight. Once I get that sword though, I'm probably gonna go into like intelligence so I can wield some magic stuff. Because the magic stuff I'm in right now, like there's a place called the Academy and it's pretty much all magic shit. So everything that enemies drop is just magic. And I'm like, man, some of this stuff would be really cool to use, but you either need faith or you need intelligence to wield some of it. I'm like, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll just hammer it out for now. But I'm
Nice.
nice. But I'm deeply engrossed in this game. I go to work and I'm like, damn, I just want to play more Elden Ring. Like it's really good. It's so good. The open world is fantastic. It feels kind of like The Witcher, where you get to like a ridge, and you're like, well, what is that over there? So you walk down over there, and you go through this temple, and the temple ends up being a dungeon, and then you come out, and you're like, well, let me just look around. Well, what's that going up that like spire thing? So you walk up a hill, and you go to a spire thing, and then it's another thing, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Then you come over here, and you're like, there's a thing over there. I'm gonna go see what's over there. So I end up getting lost in the map. Like I have no idea where I'm at. I have no idea what I'm doing. I trudged through a swamp and I'm back in a forest. Like I have no idea. But I love it. I love it. It's just like mindlessly wandering, meandering through these rings of elder, and I'm having a good time. I'm having a good progression's really good. What have you been playing? That's all I've been playing, by the way.
I
That's
love to
the
hear it.
only thing. Um,
Um,
it's got me hook, line, and sinker in this game. What have you been playing though?
just to piggyback off of you a little bit, I have been playing Elden Ring as well, but not as much as you probably. Just mainly because I've been pretty busy and I also have been playing something else that I'll talk about in a second. But just to piggyback off of you a little bit, I haven't even beaten Margit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first like real boss.
yeah, I've gotten there and I've fought him and died, but
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go out and explore. And
Before you go farther, what is your build? What are you
um,
stacking your stats into?
so currently, I don't know if this is the right move. Okay, I may change my mind. I'm like early enough that I could change this decision,
Right.
but right now I am basically doing what you just said that you wanted to do, where I'm doing like strength and intelligence sort of like at the same
Oh,
time.
okay.
So
Okay.
I've got a wand and a sword, and I'm like snapping
That's
and
pretty
like shooting
cool.
things.
That's
It's
pretty
cool.
cool.
It's cool, but like I think early game it's probably pretty rough because you're like trying to build these two things, so neither of
Hmm.
them are strong. So you
Yeah.
feel weak,
Yeah.
and I feel weak. Um, so I think what I'm probably gonna focus on my sword a little bit just to make that a little stronger, and then go into the. But anyway, I I like the open worldness of this game as well. Like, because I was fighting Margit, or however you say it,
I think it's Margit.
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 I don't know, Margaret.
That's the internet. The internet is like all up in arms about this guy because apparently he's hard.
I'm having a hard
Um,
time with him. Yeah.
I've everybody I've heard is like I don't know. Like it's taken me 2 hours to beat this guy, and I beat him in 5 turns, like five
Yeah.
tries, and I'm like,
Sometimes that's just like
he
souls, right?
he was easy for like it. Like I went in and went, I can do this, and I died, and I'm like, okay, well he got me that time. I'm still learning. I could do this. I went in. Oh, I totally got this. Like get him down to like nothing, and then the fifth try, I'm just like, whoop. Oh, he's dead already. All right,
I think if I
and
was
then
just running a sword build like you, I'd probably be doing better. But like, I really think it because I've never fucked with magic in a Souls game, right?
oh
Like
no,
that's
no, that's not the thing to do, I hear.
yeah, but that's why I wanted to do it, right?
Right.
Because I've done
Well,
this before.
in this game, they've really stepped
I
it up, I
I
hear.
hear it's easy mode. Yeah, I hear it's easy mode, but that's okay. I haven't gotten to the point where it's easy mode yet. Especially
Right.
Margit, like the space is so small. Like it's this small little like hallway that you fight this massive. There's not much area to run, and like
Mm.
you'll be rolling away, and you'll like roll into like a bundle of sticks, and you're like,
Oh
son
yeah,
of a bitch!
and you get stuck on like a sword that's
Fucking
poking out of the
geometry.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I've no. You know, a lot of people are praising this game, rightfully so. This game's awesome so far. I'm not very far, but like there are some things to nitpick. Like you'll press roll like 3 times or whatever, but then you'll like roll twice, and you'll be like, okay, I
Yeah.
didn't actually want that third roll, so I want to hit. It's like, nah, you're doing that third roll
You're
anyway.
doing the third roll. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no cancel. That
No.
is one of the biggest things because like you'll pull the new weapon that I have, it's a little faster than the older weapon, so I'll like do a heavy attack, but I'll pull the trigger twice, and I'll do a heavy attack, and then he'll start swinging for another one. I'm like, no, and then I'll
Yeah.
die. And it's
Yeah,
like that's
because especially in this game, like you'll be in a panic mode and you'll just be like, ah, and you're
yeah,
like, and then you're
yeah,
like, oh fuck, I wish I didn't do that.
yeah,
Also, like the auto lock is a little wonky. It's
yeah,
a little wonk, and like sometimes
yeah.
you'll try to hit something and you'll like just hit to the side of them, and that's just like really annoying.
You completely
And you're
miss.
just
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I miss that? Like I'm locked on. Like what the fuck is
Hmm.
going on? Also, like some of the reach on some of these guys is like deceiving as fuck. Like the hitboxes are
Yeah.
a little deceiving,
Yeah.
which you'll get used to it as you play these fights more and more. But I wish it wasn't so like deceiving. I wish it was a little bit more like it made sense. Like
Right. Yeah.
sometimes they'll like turn in a way that you're like, what the fuck was that? Like how?
Yeah.
Why'd you turn like that?
Especially that first guy on the horse. Like he'll be in the air, ready to attack, and then you'll like run around him, and he'll just completely do a
Yeah.
180 and hit you, and you're like, "What? That doesn't make any sense."
Yeah. That shit pisses me off, but that's always pissed me off in those kind of games anyway. So I guess if you're into that, whatever. But like what you were saying with March, like how you just beat it like your fifth try or whatever. It reminds
Yeah.
me of Rom from Bloodborne, right?
Oh, dude,
I
fuck Rom,
I
man. That's
literally
where I stopped. That
yeah,
is where I stopped because I'm like, fuck this. It's completely random.
I
Like,
literally stopped playing that game for a year and came back and beat it after a year because that boss pissed me off so much. But then our friend Brandon, who's been on this show before because he did our
Last of
Last of
Us
Us
2.
Part 2 spoiler cast, which you can go watch.
Mhm.
But he's like, oh yeah, I beat him first try. I'm like, you son of a bitch. How? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no
just
idea. The
the
name of the beast.
Soulsborne,
Yeah.
experience. Uh, but also what I've been playing, Nick, and what I've beaten.
Oh. Oh, I
As
like that. I like to hear that. That's a good phrase right there.
I beat it as of like 2 hours ago. I was playing it this
Nice.
morning, and I
Nice.
beat Pokemon Legends Arceus this morning. Obviously, there's a bunch of post-credit stuff that I haven't gotten to yet, but like
Grats.
I rolled credits today. Like they
Grats.
thank you. And it's good. It's a good
Cool.
game. It's all right.
Cool.
It's like it's hard to talk about Pokemon after talking about Elden Ring, which like Elden Ring is such a polished, beautiful game, and like just from the little bit of Elden Ring I've played, like everything in the world is so intentional, and like you
Yeah.
go to a different area and you're like, holy shit, this is like a whole new section of the game. Like this is crazy.
Right.
Pokemon, not like that. It's very much like Ubisoft style, like check marks, catch
Yeah.
things. But I did find it quite enjoyable. The catching and releasing of Pokemon and stuff, like it's kind of fun. There's way too much fucking dialogue in this game though. Like
Really?
especially at the end, you're just like, I don't fucking care. Like they just keep talking and then you're like, oh, it's done. And then you walk away, more talking, just
Oh,
so
jeez.
much talking. And I wouldn't mind if the story was like interesting, but it's a Pokemon game and Pokemon games are never interesting. Granted, this story is more interesting than like some of the previous Pokemon, but like that ain't saying much. It's
No.
like I that really annoyed the shit out of me. I'm like, I just want to fight this Pokemon and be done with it.
What I liked about Pokemon, like the early Pokemon, was that like the story was kind of told through the NPCs that you talked to. Like you had to talk to them. Like there was like
Yeah,
Red who would come up to you and be like, "Ah, we need to battle." But other than that, it was just kind of like
you had to go up to
you
them.
had
Yeah,
to go up to them and talk to them. If you didn't talk to them, then you didn't get that part of the story. Like, yeah,
yeah. That this game's not like that. There's a lot of side quests and stuff that are a thing, but that's literally just side quests. So yeah, that's not how the story unfolds in this one at all. Um, there's some like quality of life things that I wish were in this game. Like for one, like when you're in a battle, I wish you could look at your Pokedex. For a game that's like you got to fill out the Pokedex, and like some of the Pokedex entries are like, see this Pokemon use Crunch 3 times. Like I wish I could look at the Pokedex while I'm fighting,
yeah,
so I could be like, because I can't remember. So I'm like,
right.
what move do I need to use again? Or I can look at like this Pokemon that I'm currently fighting and be like, okay, do I need to
What
beat
do I
it?
need? Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
So that would be nice. Also, just to like, you know, in every Pokemon game, you can go to your menu and you can look at your Pokemon and look at their stats and stuff. I wish you could look at their Pokedex entries just right there. Just click on them. Here's their
Oh
Pokedex
yeah,
entry. That'd
yeah.
be really
It's not
nice.
like that.
No, you just have to go to the Pokedex and like find them in the Pokedex. It's very annoying. Yeah, because yeah. Um, but like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this game. Like, I think this is like the most interesting Pokemon game I've played in a long time. Like since Ruby. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's doing something completely different and interesting, and I appreciate it. It has a lot of things it can fix. But I give it credit for just trying something new, and it looks like they're bringing some of that over to the new one, which is cool.
mm, yep.
Although I hear some of the catching stuff, um, some of the catching stuff that's in this game is going to be different in the new one.
Oh yeah.
Pwn One God says Pokemon's has always had a subpar UI UX, but I am glad they are pushing it in a new direction. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Totally.
100%.
So yeah, that's kind of my review of Pokemon, I suppose. If I had to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, which I don't, but I'm going to anyway because I'm a piece of shit, I'd probably give it like a 7.5, 7.5.
That's like a rating scale of like a 20, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like I look at it as like grading a paper in school.
Oh, okay.
It's a 7.5.
We should just say out of 100%.
Okay, it's a 75. I'll give it a 75
out of 100%. Yeah. Nice.
I just feel like 7.5 sounds better than 75. Because I don't want to give something a 78 or a 7.8. It's like 7, 7.5, 8. Like that's, you know what I mean?
See. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a multiple choice problem.
Or I could do the Anthony Fantano where it's like a strong to light 7, or what is it? A light to strong. I don't know.
Medium, schmedium,
whatever.
Schmedium 7. I don't know what it does.
We need a review scale over here at Lonercast, I guess.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 stars. See, I don't like that because it makes it sound so much better than it actually is. It's not a 4 out of 5.
The 5 scale is way too small.
It's too hard because
there's so many games that like don't quite deserve to be in 5 and don't quite deserve to be in 4, but they're like in between. Like,
but if we're going on a 3 out of 5 scale, I'd give it a 3.5. See, and this is where the issue comes in because now I'm doing points again. Like,
yes, exactly. Then you're using a 10-point scale. Yeah. So what's the point? There's no point.
It's all very confusing.
It's all
arbitrary anyway. Like it doesn't. The score doesn't matter anyway. It's what I said that matters. God damn it! Actually, what I say doesn't matter. Don't listen to me. Go listen to someone else. What are you doing here? Anyway, I'm the host. Let's move on to the titties. I was waiting for you to move on, but
great. No, I was gonna let you ramble on forever.
This is this is the hard thing about switching off hosts. I never know who's hosting. Anyway,
that's it.
We're moving on to the titties. These are some tidbits of news that are worth mentioning, but not full stories. First and foremost, Forspoken has been delayed until October 11th, 2022. It's supposed to come out in May, I believe. So, how does this make you feel, Nick?
Good. It makes me feel good. Yeah. They didn't push it back like as far as I saw the title and it's like Forspoken has been delayed. I'm like, oh no, what the fuck? And then it's like October. That's fine. And they gave like a date, a real date. So I have I imagine that they're like, we're literally just finishing things off. We're polishing it up. That way we can, instead of it'll be out late 2022. Don't worry about it. It's a little different when they give a definitive date. If they push it again, scary.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah, I think it's a little. I thought for sure it'd be moved to next year, so I'm surprised it's coming out this year, especially with. I think the end of this year is going to be stacked with games, so like. I'm worried for this game getting lost in the shuffle, if I'm being honest, with an October release, which makes me believe like when October comes around, they'll probably delay it. Not even just because it needs more time, but just because it's not the right place.
It could be. We don't know what's coming out in October.
We don't, but we've got rumors of, God of War coming out later this year, Sparks of Hope or whatever the Sparks of the Mario Rabbids game.
Oh,
there's a lot of stuff that are a Call of Duty, of course, and just a bunch of stuff that's probably going to come out around October. Of course, Starfield comes out in October. Like
that's true. That is true. Well, see that I don't think that has anything to do with Forspoken.
Saints Row comes out around that time as well.
Yeah. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a hot end of the year, just like last month.
Dude, this entire year is fucking insane. It's fucking insane.
I told you. Last year, bad video games. It was all junk. last year was just very
Fill in time. Yeah.
yeah, what was it? The bottom of the barrel, cream
Yeah.
of the crop from the bottom of the barrel. It's
It
but
was kind of
now
a cool year though, because like some games that normally wouldn't get the like love and
yes,
affection that they deserve got some love and affection.
100%,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like
But
Inscription, or even Psychonauts, like and
even
Kana.
yeah, Kana and the It Takes Two guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So
that was cool, but like this is a full fledged, like, let's
we're
fucking
ready
go.
for some heavy hitters this year.
Yeah.
That's yeah,
But
something
I
that'll take
I
a
know
while.
they did some previews for First Spoken like a month or two ago, and I
Yeah,
know they got kind of mixed reception. So I wonder if they took some of the notes from that and are like, okay,
could be,
let's polish this out, let's fix it up. I
could
still
be.
am not totally sure what that game is, so I don't know.
Me either. Isn't this an Amy Hennig game?
Amy Hennig, yep, Amy Hennig,
She's
and
involved somehow.
she's like one of the writers with Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One, so,
Oh, sick.
and works for Kind of Funny for
So
some reason.
this should be cool. I'm all for it. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm interested in the story at least. We'll see what the gameplay is. Um, Lego Star Wars characters packs DLC detailed. So Lego
Yes.
Star Wars has new DLC,
Well,
which
the new Lego Star Wars that is coming out
will have DLC,
will have DLC, and they've showed off what the DLCs are going to be throughout the year.
which include The Mandalorian, Solo, Rogue One, and Bad Batch. So with this DLC, is it just characters or is it like story DLC?
As far as I can tell, it is just characters. It's like character. What do you call it? Character patches.
Just like models, like,
Character packs. It's just like you can play as Han Solo from the movie Solo. You can play as um, the Mandalorian. You can play as who else do I have on here? Rogue One. One of the guys from Rogue One.
Jin
Jyn
Erso.
Erso. The only one.
You can
Cassian.
play as a clone. Bad
Am I
Batch.
am I crazy, or is it gross that DLC is announced before the game is out?
Absolutely.
It
Totally.
is gross. Very gross.
Totally.
It doesn't feel right. But also, this game's almost out. I think this game comes out in like a month or so.
Well, especially a game that's had the like development hell that Star Wars the
Yeah.
Skywalker saga has had. Like this game was supposed to come out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And
But it is a Star Wars joint. It's Disney. They're gonna milk it for everything that they got. So
even if you're working on DLC before the game, like just wait until the games come out to announce it. Like it just makes me feel
yeah,
better.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just makes me feel
I agree.
better. Cuz then
I
you end up
agree.
with like an Evolve situation,
Hmm.
where like Evolve had all this fucking DLC when it came out and everyone's like, "Yeah, the DLC is just some characters models in the Lego game. Just put them in the game." Yeah, totally. I totally agree. We talk about this all the time, like when you used to play like Tony Hawk and you'd like skate to unlock the Spider-Man suit or whatever,
Yeah.
or
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 yeah. Or the
NBA
Darth Maul guy.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Like that used to be
It,
the fun of games, was like unlocking the character packs,
Mhm. But now you have to pay for it.
which isn't fun. It's not fun to
No,
pay.
no,
Even if you're
not for
rich,
my wallet.
it's not fun to pay. You know what I mean? Like even if you're like Elon Musk, it's like I don't want to pay for this character. I want to unlock it in the game.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
cheat mode. It's cheat mode. It's pay to win, pay
yeah.
to pay to play. I don't like it.
Yeah, unlocking that stuff used to give like reason to do different things in the game. Like find all the hidden collectibles and you can unlock Jyn Erso. Like that'd be
Yeah.
cool. That that
Yep.
that's some cool shit that could be in the game, but it's just well,
Honestly, they say it's over 300 characters in the game, not including any of these. So there's probably plenty of characters that
sure.
are that sort of thing where it's like, find all of the what are they called? The little coins, but they're not called coins. Um, you find all the coins in this level and you unlock somebody. I'm sure that's how it is in the game, but fitting 300 characters with all their own, achievable unlocks is going to be kind of tough for a game to do anyway. It's like, well, we got to find 300 ways people unlock these characters. Uh, let's just throw some out for free, or throw some out for money. Like,
Yeah. Lame anyway. Halo Infinite campaign co-op is delayed. No new release date announced. This just makes me feel like Halo should have been delayed.
yep, yep, that's how I
Yeah.
feel about it. Halo
Was not ready.
is not ready, and I haven't heard anything from Halo in a very long time. Apparently they're still on season 1
Yep.
because the co-op is supposed to release along with season 2. So I guess in this situation, season 2 is also, there's no release date for it either. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're ruining themselves, honestly. They're just, people are
Yeah.
bored of your game now. Like, if you get bored of a game this long into it because there's nothing new coming out, I don't know what that says about your game. It's not very good. It's
Yeah,
not
it
good.
just came out like what, 3 months ago? And like I know from our friend group, like everyone's out. Like our
Yep.
friend group was pretty in on it, except for the two of us, funny enough. But like our friend group was pretty in on
It was like
Halo
every day. Every day I'd get on and
for
want to
about
play
it
Halo? Yeah, okay, I'll play Halo. And then
was like 2 weeks of that, and then everyone's like, let's play
yep,
League or something. You
on to
know,
something else.
yeah, which you know, Halo is not just an online game; it's a single player game as well, and a co-op game. But the co-op isn't, and I haven't really heard anyone talk about the campaign at all online.
Nope.
Like no one's like, this was a masterpiece or anything.
Yeah. It sounds exactly what we said. Exactly what I said. I won't lay this group you into this. But what I said was like, it's Halo.
Yeah,
That's it. It's exactly what you'd expect. There's nothing new. It's just new paint on an old game.
yeah.
And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like that's all it is.
Well, I
I don't even
personally,
know I don't even know if this co-op is going to help out with, like, them releasing co-op might get a few people back in just to play through the campaign again. Um
I'm up fuck through the campaign with you if you want. We're never
mm,
on at the same time.
no.
But yeah, I think the secret sauce to Halo was Bungie all along, though, and
Yep.
I feel like ever since Bungie left, like everyone's kind of been like,
Yep.
like why keep doing it? Just
Why keep doing it?
put 343 on something else, because it does prove that they're capable of doing something, but
Yep.
put them on something new, and like I think people would like go apeshit over 343 doing something new and big, and like it can even be the same kind of style, right? Like it
Yeah.
could be a space sci-fi
First
sort of
person
thing.
shooter, yeah.
Yeah. Like look at what Bungie did, right? Like Bungie did that where it's
Yep.
like it's the same sort of thing, but it's different. Let
Yep.
343
Just
do that too, and you might have
yeah,
some success.
100%. I'm sure there's some game developers, there's some what do they call project directors, or somebody's that has ideas and is like, I want to make this kind of game, and they can assemble a team and be like, do you guys want to make this game? Let's make this game. And they're like, all right, cool. And somebody will have a good idea, but they're so attached to their Halo. Xbox is so attached to the Halo franchise, and it's kind of old at this point.
Like I get it cuz it's such a massive, franchise and you want to, but like look at what PlayStation does, right? Like they've got plenty of like huge IP and they'll just drop them. Like they had
Yep.
Infamous and they're like, you know what? We'll make something new. They had like
But
Crash
I
Bandicoot and all that
but I
stuff, and they're like,
bet you they'll come back eventually. Like, it'll be like Infamous is back.
yeah, maybe.
And it'll be like, "Oh, cool. All right.
Because like
Sweet."
to be fair, they have been making God of War games for ever, so
They did have a lull, though, to be honest.
they did, and they had to like kind of reboot the thing.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know. And one last thing in the titties here. There's a rumor going around that PlayStation's next State of Play showcase is reportedly airing this month. So
Cool.
I sure hope so. Um,
Yeah.
I put this in
Yeah.
here mainly because I wanted to speculate a little with you, Nick. If
hmm
there is a showcase this month, what do you want to see, and what do you think we will see?
What do I want to see? I want to see that little, I think it's called the Devil Inside.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Is that what it's called? Devil Inside game?
Didn't we have like a whole thing though?
Yeah, Little Devil Inside. That's what we did, but I didn't feel like it had a whole lot to it. I didn't get a whole lot to it. Um, Other than that, I'd like to see something on Spider-Man. I think everybody would like to see something on Spider-Man. Um, Maybe something on that new XCOM game. Uh, the what do you call it? The Marvel one.
The Firaxis one.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
something on that. What else haven't we seen? We haven't seen a new Dirt, but that's EA though, so I don't know why they would do that. Uh,
You
I don't
could
know,
see
man.
EA at a State of Play for sure.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't really kind of sprung that on me. I don't really know.
yeah.
Whatever, just something.
Yeah,
Forspoken, maybe more Forspoken.
I was thinking that too. A little bit more Forspoken. Obviously, we need to see God of War. I think that's the big one.
Yeah.
Uh, New PSVR. I kind of have this feeling that it
Oh,
won't be PSVR
I hope not.
heavy, especially since they like just did like a big announcement and like showed it off like recently. So I feel like right now is the time to really focus on your PS5 games.
Uh-huh.
Because there's been a kind of lull. I know we got Horizon, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, God of War is the huge one. I'm not even gonna say it, but you know what I'm thinking. I'd like to see that there as well. Naughty Dog was something.
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
I won't.
Don't say it.
I won't even
Don't
say it
say it.
because that'll jinx it. Factions.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn it! You said it. You son of a bitch. You
I'd love to
son
see
of a
that.
bitch.
And it's been a while. We got Demon Souls, right? Demon Souls. Demon Souls
Yes.
came out.
Yeah.
When did that come out? When did Demon Souls come out? I'm looking it up.
Like
Demon
last
Souls.
year, the end of last, or it was like right when the PlayStation came out, so 2 years ago,
November 12th, 2020. Okay.
2020.
So that was Blue Point's game, right?
Yeah,
Um
it'll be their next game.
yeah, I'd like to see what they're doing on because what was the game before that? Uh
What do
Shadow
you
of the
mean? With
Colossus,
their yeah, Shadow of the Colossus.
which was 2 years before that. So it's been 2 years. Maybe another Blue Point game. Blue Point. Let's give it up for Blue Point.
Let's
Especially
do it.
since PlayStation has officially like bought Blue Point now. So maybe
Yeah.
they'll be working on a new IP. Or maybe another Demon Souls. I don't know. Whatever they're working on, I'd be interested in. So anyway, I'm sure we'll have more time to speculate about it when we actually find out that it's happening. But I figure we just
Yeah.
tickle the
Tickle it.
ideas.
We just tickle it
Just
a
a little
little bit.
tickle.
I wasn't ready for it, so
Yeah, me
I
either,
didn't have
really.
like a great. I didn't have a great answer. Oh,
Yeah, I think.
Call One God is excited for the new PSVR news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Uh,
looks cool. It looks cool. It looks like a Oculus with the controls. The controls definitely needed to be updated, but
am I
I don't
the
know.
only one that just has like zero interest in VR?
No,
Because like when I
no.
think about playing video games, I don't like the idea of like having to strap something to my head. I
Yeah,
just
I get that. But there are some games, like if I were to have a VR again, I would play two games right off the bat. One, that Beat Saber game,
yeah, Beat Saber would be fun.
Beat Saber, and then two, Wipeout HD in VR.
Hmm.
Some sort of racing game.
But I also
That
just like I just think about like games like Beat Saber where you like sweat a lot and just like how nasty they get. And then
Oh
it's like
yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
share your VR. You can, but like I just always find it weird that you're like sharing, passing it around. It's gross.
Yeah.
VR's
Especially
gross, man.
nowadays.
Yeah. It's gonna be another 5 years till VR is mainstream. I do about 30 to 35% gaming in VR. Really? That is surprising to hear. That's a lot of gaming in VR.
I
I
want to know what
honestly,
you play. What is your top VR game, Pwn God?
yeah, please let us know. But I honestly feel like even in 5 years, it's not going to be like mainstream. We've been trying to get VR mainstream since the fucking Nintendo thing. Like, I personally think it's just like a gimmick that's around for now. And I think it'll always be around because if there's someone to sell it to, they'll buy it. But like,
Yeah. It'll be like motion controls,
yeah, like motion controls are still around, but they're not.
Nobody really likes using motion controls.
Yeah, people prefer just playing video games because the thing about video games is just it's a leisure activity. It's a thing to do and sit down and chillax, relax and play your video game. There are certain games like DDR and stuff that are like fun, but like that's never going to be like the main thing.
Yeah.
But that's just my thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we will be living in Ready Player One. About 15 hours of Beat Saber.
A week?
It's my morning workout.
Morning workout.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see how VR could be like a workout thing for sure.
But that sucks though, because like, yeah, you're right. You do have to put these goggles on. And I feel like there's just better ways to do it. Because
I don't know.
I don't want to be sweating with that thing on, making it all slippery and sliding all over my head. And I don't know.
Tell us, Bone One God. How do you make it work? Is it gross? Is your VR like nasty?
Is your VR? Yeah, is it slippery and gross?
Is it gross?
Stinky? Does it stink?
So you got the stinky VR?
Stinky VR headset?
I'm going to start a new company called Stinky VR.
I like it. I like it.
Anyway, we'll move on to the news. Let us know, Bone One God. Here's our first piece of news.
Basket and wet wipes. That makes sense.
The video game world starts moving to cut off Russia amid outcry over Ukraine war. This comes from Ryan Brown at CNBC. And just so everyone is aware, this article is from like Friday last week. And there's been even more like developments with all of this. Like pretty much everyone's pulling out of Russia. Video game companies are starting to halt their operations in Russia amid outcry over the country's invasion of Ukraine. Poland's CD Projekt, the publisher behind sci-fi title Cyberpunk 2077 and popular role-playing game franchise The Witcher, said Thursday that it would halt all sales of its games in Russia and Belarus. It will also pause all sales through the GOG Games distribution platform in the countries. Electronic Arts on Wednesday said it would remove the Russian national team and all clubs in the country from its FIFA soccer titles and the NHL football game series. That's wild. The company on Friday went a step further, saying it is now blocking all sales of games and content in Russia and Belarus. Earlier this week, Ukrainian Digital Minister Mikhailo Fedorov, I totally butchered that, called on Microsoft and Sony to block all Russian and Belarusian accounts and cancel any planned gaming events in the two countries. He also asked the firms to deny allowing Russian or Belarusian gamers from competing in international esports events. Microsoft President Brad Smith said Friday that the company would suspend all new sales of Microsoft products and services in Russia and stop many aspects of our business in Russia in compliance with the governmental sanctions decisions. Nintendo Store is down in Russia and they donated $200,000. Nick also said Activision Blizzard is also suspending sales in Russia. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. Pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. What do you think about this? Because I've got some thoughts.
I have a few thoughts for sure. I think like it's kind of weird. It feels like when we were kids, right, Nick? Like, it was Cuba, right? Like we couldn't communicate with Cuba. Now it seems like Russia's like the new Cuba, almost.
Right. Well,
It's
Cuba was because of Russia, though.
I know, but like we really held it out on Cuba. Uh, yeah, so that's kind of what it feels like. But it sucks for the Russians there that like want nothing to do with this, you know. And I feel
That's my biggest issue with it. Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Continue.
think it's like an issue though, like because it sucks for sure for those Russians that are like I don't want any part of this. Uh, but what it does is it makes those Russians aware of the severity of what's going on. Um, because now it's like, fuck, I can't watch the Batman because of this fucking war, you know? And, you know, it's hard to feel bad for Russian citizens when everything that's going on in Ukraine. Like, I saw a video yesterday of this like little girl singing "Let It Go" in like a bunker. Like it's
Yeah.
so sad. That's so sad, man.
Yeah.
Like that really fucking sucks. And if this is a way to like make the Russian people like stand up and be like, "Hey, what the fuck? All our media is gone, our services are gone, everything is going away." I think it's the right move. I don't know what the other option is.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do have to say that like it's the right move, but it feels so shitty to just like take that stuff away from people who have no idea. Like just put yourself in like a Russian's shoes. You have no idea. You're blocked out from the world, right? And you are just sitting at home and trying to get on Netflix or trying to get on, trying to pay for uh something on Nintendo, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Americans, Japanese, everybody hates us. Why do they hate us? And you
Yeah.
have no idea. It is so sad for people who are misinformed to have to go through it. And it sucks, but it's almost like one of the only ways that we can get Russian people to realize that like, hey, something's not right. Maybe you should check on it. Like,
Right. And you know,
like everybody's cutting you off. Your dollar isn't worth anything. Your ruble isn't worth anything. Like you
it's a
should
great name. It's a
probably
great name for a currency though. It's got to be said.
it's
It's a great
yeah,
name. Ruble.
but like you should probably something's not going on right. Somebody's not telling you
Yeah.
something. I feel like it's kind of like a wake up call. But I also feel like the people that are involved with like video games and stuff like that know how the internet works
Yeah.
and and are those people that already understand like what is going on and they're already against it, whereas like more people from like rural areas who just kind of work on farms and listen to Fox News in Russia are just like, oh yeah, we're fuck America, fuck everybody. They're kind of
Well, you know,
nationalists over there. Um,
all
it's
all
just it's
all of RT America got shut down too, which is wild.
all of what?
RT America, that's like the Russian uh it's like Russian
News
news
station.
station. But like a bunch of Americans work there, right? Like it was just like a Russian
Yeah.
news station, but they got completely closed down. No, I hear what you're saying. Like it sucks for the people that are like, man,
Yeah,
but
and
like
I don't want to compare it because I know you're going to compare it to what Ukrainians have been going through,
I
but
wasn't.
also
I
it's like
already
it's just like yeah, they're two very different things. Like people are literally dying in like
no, yeah,
Ukraine,
yeah. No,
but like
I wasn't gonna make that comparison again. I already did.
okay,
But like as Americans, you know, right now we can't. There's no way for us to get involved,
right,
um, like physically or
right.
defensively, other than like donating stuff to them, I guess. But like this is another way for us to sort of get involved. It's a Cold
I
War
think
tactic for sure, but like it's
I think what it does is it gets the Russian people involved more so than anybody else. It's like, okay, we can't touch anything, we can't send help, we can't send jets and fighters and stuff like that. But what
right.
we can do is be like, we're not sending anything to anybody. Like you can't fly over here. We're gonna completely shut you out, and you're just gonna have to live off of your own
Well,
land.
it's also these companies like getting ahead of it because like this is going to go on for a while. Our connections with um our connections with Russia are going to be damaged for a long time, and these companies probably know that. We're not going to be they're
Yeah.
not going to be able to even have companies over there, you know, after this. So like they were going to have to do this anyway. You know what I mean? Like this is probably going to happen anyway. So I don't know. Um, it was pretty inevitable. Poem One God says there's a reason sanctions work, and it's not always an economics thing. Yeah, true,
No,
true,
no,
totally.
it's definitely not I mean, it is an economics thing, but it's also not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Anyway, moving on. That's the most political we've ever gotten on this show. Um, Star Wars Eclipse. Hey, Danny. Star Wars Eclipse reportedly won't release until 2027 because no one wants to work on it. This comes from Rhiannon Bevan at The Gamer. How do you get that website?
The
TheGamer.com.
gamer.
Like that's epic. Like you guys, you did it. You got it. Like good job. Anyway, um, even by gaming industry standards, the allegations Quantic Dream has faced over the years are damning. With a boss that reportedly throws around homophobic slurs and coworkers that will apparently Photoshop your face onto porn, the Heavy Rain developer hardly sounds like a welcoming environment. And now this workplace culture could halt the development of the company's biggest game yet. Multiple insiders are reporting that Star Wars Eclipse will launch in 2027 at the earliest, as the studio faces staffing issues. This means that there might be 6 years in between Eclipse's reveal and release, raising questions as to why it was teased last year at all. X-Fire's Tom Henderson reported yesterday that development is suffering as a result of hiring issues. Sources he spoke to claimed that the game was revealed early to attract new developers, since working on the next big Star Wars game is a pretty attractive prospect. However, they say that this hasn't worked, and they're still unable to bring on new talent. Henderson highlighted that the job listings at Quantic Dream have actually increased since the game's reveal, going from 60 to 67. It also turns out the studio has been republishing old listings to make them appear more recent. This is likely to prove disastrous for development, which is said to have started all the way back in 2013. The Grub, as I love to call him, Jeff Grubb on Twitter, checked. This is what he said. Checked, and this is true. Cynically, a good reason not to even have the appearance of a toxic environment at your studio is that you might be fucked when you make your next game because no one wants to work with you. Yeah, that's pretty wild stuff. I'll let you go off first.
It's pretty rough, dude. Like if you can't find people because you're just so much of a shitbag that people get into the interview and go, "Whoa, okay,
Well, and
I'm
just your
not doing
reputation in general.
well that." And like you're working on a Star Wars game, which should be like you get a whole bunch of applicants, right? Like that's a big get. And I never thought of like trailers for games are good for like hiring people. I never thought in any at all that like we're putting out a trailer. This is what we're working on. Do you want to work on it with us?
I
Come
don't
over
even
here.
think
Like
it's so much the trailer itself, like attracting people to get hired. I think it's just so that they could say on the job listing that this is for the next Star Wars game.
right.
So
Yeah.
they put out a trailer so that way it doesn't get leaked through
It
a
doesn't
job
get
listing.
leaked, but still either way, it's like you're working on a Star Wars game. You know it anyway.
Yeah.
But it gets people in the door. But if you can't keep people in the door, there is something extremely wrong with your company, and I might have to look into this company that way I can get hired, because if they're desperate, they
Yeah,
might just
totally.
hire anybody. I'll deal with
Uh,
workplace
I think
homophobic
they're
slurs and
Swedish or something.
I don't know. I mean, dude, work from home, remote working is a very big thing.
True. Uh,
So And especially if they can't hire anybody. Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, I can't go to France or Sweden or wherever they're from, but you pay me here, pay me like 10% less, then I'll work from here, you know?
For sure. Uh,
So
dude, you know what no one's talking about? Okay, I don't know who's in charge of Star Wars, but what the fuck, man? It's just constant with Star Wars. Like, is this Kathleen Kennedy? Like, does she make the decisions with like who makes the games, or like
I don't know.
who's making these fucking decisions? Because it's just constant,
Yep.
right? With Star Wars, Episode 7 came out, was a huge success. Rogue One came out, it was a huge success, but there were so many like problems with production. Like, I know
Right.
Gareth Edwards didn't even direct the last half of that movie. Episode
Yep.
8 came out, it was successful, but had a huge fan backlash. And then, of course,
Uh,
Solo.
Solo people didn't like it, and then they had the whole changing director thing
Yeah, complete
like
failure. Complete
4 or
failure.
5 times.
They changed the director. They made a whole movie, changed the director. Most expensive Star Wars movie ever made. Episode
Yep.
9, train wreck. Total ass. And then Boba Fett, total trash. Okay, let's be honest here. Not a great fucking show. It's pretty
It's
fucking bad.
Nah, it's not good. It's not good.
Galaxies.
But then you look at like the games and stuff, and you got EA making like Battlefront and
Right, I was
everything, and
getting to
people
that.
are like,
I was getting to that, Nick.
eh,
I was
okay,
getting to
sorry.
it. I was getting
All
to
right,
it.
I'm sorry.
Galaxy's Edge, absolute train wreck. Didn't
I
go
fucking love Galaxy's Edge.
it's cool, but it did not attract to the people that they thought it would. It's not.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it like successful, right? Like it didn't do as well as they thought. They had it queued out where like, oh, we're gonna have huge queues. They didn't have huge queues. When I went there the first year, Nick, it was empty in there. There was like no
Really?
one in there. No
Well,
one.
because the thing is, they only had one ride when it opened. That's
Okay.
the thing. That's
Now
the
they've
biggest
got
thing.
2
No, like
rides.
they got 2 rides. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be more rides. Is the thing that
Sure.
attracts.
Still, like, not as successful as they thought it would be. Okay. And then of course Battlefront, the first one, did okay, but people complained about it not having a single player. People were mad about it. Battlefront 2 came out, huge train wreck, disaster, car on fire moment, where like all the pay
All
to
the
win bullshit, yeah,
microtransactions, pay to win.
microtransactions. It is a total dumpster fire, and
Yep.
and then just making a deal with EA in the first place to make a 10-year deal with them, and then the first thing you do when you get out of that is to go to Quantic Dream, who
Well,
has
no, because there was that Amy Hennig thing that was supposed to come out too. That failed.
that was
This
EA too.
Well, still, but the 1313 was supposed to come out before everything. That failed. I'm sure there was like at least 2 more Star Wars games that were supposed to come out that weren't announced, and they just completely canned it.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
sure this one is going to be canned as well.
Well, you can
based
chalk
on
that
this.
up. You could chalk that all up to EA being trash, right? But like,
Most
who
of it,
knows?
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that is Star Wars. Like the people at Star Wars being like, "We don't like this game." I have no idea. I would always assumed it was EA, but that goes with them partnering with EA. Like, what are you
Right.
doing partnering with EA? And then you partner with Ubisoft, because apparently Ubisoft is working on some fucking Star Wars game as well. Ubisoft and Quantic Dream, who, like, literally last year, that was one of our like main stories, that we were talking about Quantic Dream and all the shit that was going on with Quantic Dream, or maybe that was
Well,
2020.
also Ubisoft.
And Ubisoft
is going into the toilet as well. Like
totally,
these-
yeah.
Star Wars is looking at these companies and going, who's hurting real bad because of decisions that they're making. Let's give them something to also fail at.
Like,
Yeah.
why would you partner with Quantic Dream? Like, that is absolutely bizarre to me. Like, did you not do your fucking research on like what's going on with these people? Granted, if they teamed up with them back in 2013, you know, that was before all of this shit happened. But like, what the fuck, man? That's just insane. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Who would be your preferred dev team for Star Wars? I honestly don't know. I do like the idea of them working with multiple publishers, like kind of how they're doing with Marvel.
Preferred dev team for
But like
Star Wars.
I would
have an answer. I have a couple answers.
I have a
for
couple
this.
answers too. I would love a Bethesda Star Wars game.
That'd be kind of cool. Janky, but cool.
Well, it doesn't even have to be Bethesda. It could be like id. You know, like one of those types, like id or Machine Games, something like that. That would be really cool. I'd be into that. A Sony Star Wars game obviously would be fucking awesome.
I'm thinking Naughty Dog for a fucking third person action adventure game, right? Like 1313 was supposed to be. And then Titanfall, the guys that Respawn, for like a multiplayer sort of.
Yeah, but they already made a Star Wars game.
What was it?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, I know. But like multiplayer.
No, I know. I hear you, but they've already made a Star Wars game.
I know. And it was pretty okay. It was okay.
I just don't want EA to touch it at all anymore. Even if it is Respawn. I don't want it. Square Enix could do something cool. I can fuck with that.
They're going downhill too.
Sure. But I like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot. I thought it was cool.
So give it to Devolver Digital.
And actually
have one of their developers do something with it.
Actually, come to think of it, they announced the Marvel Firaxis game. I would prefer a Star Wars Firaxis game. I think that would
Isn't
be really
that going to happen with the guys? They've announced something like that.
Yeah, totally.
With the guys that are originally from XCOM.
I forget what that was called, but I'm into that 100%. So I'm not saying Star Wars is one of these properties that like has a huge miss, but then they'll do something. Like, like Episode 7 was huge, Rogue One was huge, and then some dips, and then Mandalorian was huge, and then Boba Fett was a dip. Like that's just kind of where they're at. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, who the fuck is running Star Wars? It just seems like an easy slam dunk, and they're just blowing it.
Yep.
Anyway,
it sucks.
Recent reviews via OpenCritic. Gran Turismo 7 got an 87, and that's from 102 critic reviews. Triangle Strategy got an 82, and that's from 39 critic reviews. Elex 2, I don't know what that is, got a 69 from 55 critic reviews. Far Changing Tides got an 81 from 36 critic reviews. And Shadow Warrior 3 got a 74 from 64 critic reviews. Yeesh. Next week, new Dead Space remake. I forgot to get the game releases, Nick. Fuck.
You forgot to get the game releases.
Let's pull it up. I'm pulling it up on the spot here.
You got it.
March 7th. Where you at? March 7th. Apex Legends comes to Switch on the 9th. That can't be right. Am I in 2020 right now? No. I'm in 2021. That ain't the right year, boys. Yeah. We're in 2022.
Jesus.
I was like, Apex came out on the Switch like a year ago.
You're crashed and burning right now.
Oh, I know, and you're not even trying to help.
I'm looking at job openings for Quantic Dream right now. I'm like, what can I do here?
You know what comes out next week? Fucking Chocobo GP comes out on Switch. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto 5 gets its big like patch thing. Oh, nope, that's actually next Tuesday. So I take it back. That doesn't come out next week.
Man.
Does come out next week, but like after our show. So
yeah. You're falling apart at the seams over here.
Yeah, that's really it though. Chocobo GP. Workshop Simulator. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. Submerge in Depths. I don't know. Nothing really comes out this week.
Nothing really comes out.
That's good, because next week is huge. You know why? Because Monster Energy Supercross 5 comes out next week. That's why.
Shit, man.
That's
Shit.
Why.
We gotta jump into
it. All right. That's the end of the Gamecast. Bye, everybody. I forgot to do the plugs.
All right, that's it. That's the end of the Gamecast, everybody. Bye.
Oh, at LoaderCast1, at emergency_pizza. Nope. At emergency pizza underscore. And at fatal_microwave. Twitch.tv/lonercast. You can watch us live on YouTube now. Do that. And we post this show live on YouTube every Tuesday, like after the show. So, Go back and watch it. More like edited and nice.
Mhm.
Go to our Patreon. Just kidding. We don't have one of those. Get fucked. See you later, guys.